Are we rolling or not yet?
We are rolling.
We're rolling.
20 seconds in.
I want to talk about...
Bevel Zoom.
I'm not crazy about Zoom.
No.
Bill Gates Company.
Bill Gates.
Is that Bill Gates Company too?
And the Chinese guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Let's Get Into It. What a great show we had last week.
Yeah.
With Caroline Gropa. No, Carolina Gropa.
Carolina. I know I kept calling her Carolina. It wasn't funny.
It's funny when you think about all the people in this business and how they get to where they're going. You think about Carolina, and she's just a
go-getter.
Yeah, she's a go-getter that won't take no for an answer. She learned how to budget. She learned how to line produce. She learned how to produce. She learned that she's not directing.
Not yet.
But she did a documentary. Had never done a documentary before. She did it on a subject that was not necessarily something that she had studied, or it hadn't affected her directly. That's pretty interesting. But I think it's cool when producers do that, right? Because you get to learn so much. You have no choice but to learn a lot about the subject matter. And I think that sometimes makes a great documentary.
Yeah.
If you're able to learn while you make it and go like, oh, wow, that was important, or that
what
was
do you
historically
prefer, Robert?
important.
Because you've done both docs and live action.
When I did my docs, which was last year, I learned a lot about the subject matter. But, it mattered to me. Like, I wanted to do the documentary about Carlos Almaraz because I felt that during that time in the 50s and 60s when artists were doing graffiti art, when...
Were they doing
rioting,
graffiti art in the 50s? That far back?
It wasn't called graffiti art yet.
No.
They were painting, they were doing spray can stuff.
Placas.
Placas.
Yeah, totally. But they were, it was definitely eventually got categorized as graffiti art.
Yeah.
But because those artists back in the day were painting things that were ethnic, they weren't being categorized in the same way that American and European artists were being categorized as art, right? All of a sudden, these guys are coming out of East LA, coming out of Chicago, coming out of New York, doing these pieces of art, and they're not being considered art. They're like, oh, that's some other thing.
Yeah.
So then when I knew of Carlos because my brother's an artist, and they were sort of in the same group, but he was influenced by Disney, and there was a lot of things about it that spoke to me as the son of immigrants. So I wanted to do it. I wanted to tell the story, even though I knew it probably wouldn't be like L.A. Originals.
Yeah,
it's an amazing documentary. If you haven't seen it, you should see it. But documents, Latinos and
we might be able to get Esteban on because he's
that'd be nice.
Really nice.
Those guys influenced a lot of people, and just like Carlos Almaraz, he did murals for the farm workers movement. So Cesar Chavez was doing his thing, and Carlos was rubbing shoulders and growing and being noticed as a great artist. So to answer your question, I liked doing the documentaries because they mattered to me, but I don't think I would just take a job doing a documentary.
Yeah.
And I have to think about it because it's a lot. It's a lot.
PBS
it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Funded is there. That's the word right there. How much?
Documentaries are hard because they matter so much. You got to get it right historically. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen the documentary 13th.
No.
About the 13th Amendment. Really?
No.
Oh, my God. Okay, so if you haven't seen the documentary 13th, you should run home and watch it tonight.
Yeah.
The reason I bring it up is because when you do something really important like that, you feel like you're telling the story that if someone watches your documentary, they're going to be like, wow, I totally understand what the Chicano movement was. Yeah. I understand what civil rights was. I understand who fought for it, and I understand why it happened. And you learn something. And in 13th, I learned something. I sat there after it was over, and I was like, I never knew all that.
I'm going to watch that this week. Where can I get that? Netflix, Amazon?
Oh, okay. Cool.
Netflix and Amazon, I think. So that's why
I have a feeling a lot of shit's going to be, like, docs are going to come out after this whole thing.
For sure.
I hope so.
When there's facts to back stuff up, it becomes...
So you think things are going to come out?
Yeah. They already are coming out.
Nonfiction.
Yeah.
Nonfiction.
But it's what you just
feels
said.
Fiction. That feels like Soylent Green. Did you ever see the movie Soylent Green? Is that what's happening, sort of? Like, to a certain extent?
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, you just said corporations running things.
Right.
Corporations run everything. They
That's
run
right.
governments. They run countries. They run us staying home.
Right.
So, and what's it all? The bottom line is money, right?
Yeah.
All comes down to money.
So bring it all back to what we're talking about. What this podcast is all about is about telling the truth in documentaries and in film. It's about doing your research, and it's about giving an audience something new so that, I don't know, dude, if you think about films and documentaries, when you make a great one about a subject that you already know about and you see it differently,
yeah.
you did your job as a filmmaker,
Yeah.
getting out the information. 13th is mind blowing.
I'm gonna watch it,
You'll
dude.
watch
Yeah.
it and you'll be like, how could I have not known
Yeah.
that this is how it was going down? And in no way has there ever been a moment in time when it's not still horrible for minorities, because all the laws are being put into place and they all hurt the minority population.
Yeah.
And it's all us, right? So when you see something like LA Originals and you got Be Real and you got Cypress Hill and you got Cartoon and you got Esteban,
Yeah.
you're not going to hold them back. You know, the talent is going to always shine through, their abilities, their connectivity to celebrities, to people that are impacting large amounts of people all over the world, like Justin Timberlake and Eminem, 50 Cent. All these guys give these dudes wings, right?
Yeah.
And vice versa. So as a result, you can't hold that back. You can't hold that down. And I think that, documentaries like that are important. Documentaries like 13th are important. Documentaries like Carlos Almaraz are important. I mean, I think they need to be made.
Yeah, they are.
Carolina Grupa, she did a great documentary about a great subject.
Yeah. What's the likelihood of us getting your primo on to talk about?
Who's that?
Come on, be real, player. Insane in the
You know what?
membrane.
I'm always
insane in the brain. He would come on the podcast, I bet.
he might. I guess you're right. He's a filmmaker.
Yeah, dude, he was in LA Originals, and has
Yeah.
he produced anything else?
I
I'm
think.
sure
Well,
he
he has Be Real TV.
Yeah.
Oh, there
He
you
has
go.
the Smokehouse.
Smokehouse. That's crazy.
Where's the smokehouse?
It's on YouTube, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in a car.
Oh,
That's tight.
He does it on YouTube, and I guess he puts 3 people in the car with him. It's usually a lowrider, right?
Yeah.
And they just smoke out
and they talk.
Yeah.
Is it a podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who? Is there a podcast?
I think it's podcast.
It's
well,
video
come
and a
on.
podcast. And you know what's funny?
Would
he
you
had,
smoke with them, Robert?
I wouldn't, because I can't. I don't
can't
have.
keep up with
I
him,
don't
dude.
have enough brain
No.
cells to smoke pot.
No, I can't either. I get all tripped out now.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's horrible.
I'll try
tried
to
it.
keep up.
You know
I
who I
tried
saw
it,
on the
it's
show
bad.
the other day?
Uh.
Frankie Quinones was in the smokehouse.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, Frankie
That's right.
Creeper?
Yeah.
That's what's up, eh? Did he
I
smoke
think
in the
as
smokehouse?
Creeper. Yeah, you have to. You can't.
Oh,
not.
yeah, you
Dude,
can't.
if you don't smoke, I think you get high anyway, because
Oh,
they have
yeah,
all
if
the
you're
windows
sitting
up.
there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So it's just a hot
It's
box.
funny. It's so funny, dude.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
let's see what's up.
Yeah.
No more Zoom though, dude. I'm over the Zoom.
So
I
let's
can't
talk
deal-
about Zoom. Let's talk
Zoom's
about Zoom.
pedo, dude. I can't. For us, it didn't work.
Well, Zoom is
The best
complicated.
was your picture. Did you see Roberts' picture?
Would I have my eyes closed?
No, you took a picture.
Oh yeah.
And it looked like you were terrified.
I was like-
and you had got your haircut, your beard, dude. It was awesome. And that's all. Whenever you would
Instead
talk,
of my
that would
video.
pop up. And you're like,
Oh yeah.
Zoom was great for Easter. I had my 97-year-old mom on Zoom.
Nice.
I had my 5 brothers, all
Yeah.
their kids. So we had a full
I think for an
Zoom.
interview though, it's too tough.
Well, it's tough because we can't
Yeah.
a lot of times in our general conversations, I'm interrupting you, we're interrupting
I
each
never
other.
interrupt you, dude.
But you know what I mean? Like you can't
Yeah.
tell. It's part of conversation. And in Zoom, I'm always afraid to say anything because I'm afraid our guests are going to get cut off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm afraid of the digital,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lag and all that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of issues with this kind of work on Zoom. Even you watch Jimmy Kimmel and
Yeah,
Jimmy Fallon.
glitches.
It's hard. It glitches a little
Yeah.
bit. And
How soon do we get back, dude? What do you
Yeesh.
think?
I would imagine they're going to
'Cause we
do what
flattened the
China's
curve.
doing. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you're right. China's back.
Yeah.
Yo,
They're-
they have the wet markets are already open,
That's-
and we're over here locked in our houses and wearing masks.
They got
Yeah.
a bat. They got
Tell me
bats.
about
You can eat bats out there again.
Dude,
Yeah.
boa constrictor, the boas,
Rats.
everything, dude.
Doggies.
Dude,
No,
knock it off.
I'm
That's
not
horrible.
down with that. You see the video with the dog? Oh, never mind.
So what's the verdict on Zoom? What's the verdict on Zoom?
Nada, dude. I'm not down. Listen, democracy. Nay for me.
I'm like in the middle, dude, because it's useful. I mean, if you really have to get something done.
Okay, so I think that Zoom for your families, for your meetings, for pitches, for stuff like that, where no one's going to interrupt you.
For let's get into it.
For let's get into it, no.
If it's one-on-one, easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phone interview would be better.
Yeah, you know what?
Oh, yeah.
I'm down with the phone interview.
Yeah.
Could we do that?
Let's
Yeah.
try it.
I want to.
Let's try it.
We need a new mixer. I keep saying I'm going to get one, but
Amazon player.
I will. No, I already know. He sent me the one to get. We're going to get it.
This has been a workhorse, though.
Yeah. Dude, I've had that one for years and years and years. It's the Alesis. All right. So
Let's raffle it off for our listeners. How much you want to buy our mixer? You want to be successful in your podcast? What's up?
Yeah.
here's the mixer we started with.
Mario Lopez's voice went through this mixer.
Dude, we lost a button. Is that a button missing over there?
It's in the back.
Oh, that's funny.
Discount price.
So good.
The effects button.
Every week we talk about what's happening. I'm not a script writer, but I'm definitely.
I think you should be, though.
I got enough stuff to do.
You like to do notes. Robert's like, you give him a script and he'll
Well,
rewrite it.
I like to think about what it is that a script is trying to say.
Yeah.
I like to think about how to streamline a story.
Was that AFI right there?
I learned it just as I got older, caring more about the projects that I do.
Yeah.
You know, reading the scripts and really reading and paying attention. I think what happens is writers sometimes get inspired by a note. Your note might not be very good, or so you think, but a writer may look at it and go like, oh, I kind of know what you mean.
Yeah.
And they'll come up with something better. That's the beauty of development, you know. But in the meantime, I have been working on a couple of scripts with a few writers, and some of them are synopsis,
Yeah.
getting ready for a pitch. Wow, there's a dog up here.
Yeah. Careful. Tiger King.
And some of them are they're moving forward. People are moving forward. They're, creators are creating during this downtime. Just like when Corona started and we did the show and we're talking about like being creative. I developed something prior to the Rona happening, and someone made an inquiry about it. A network making an inquiry about it. We're checking in on it, see if it's something that we can do for a Day of the Dead type script. So we'll see what happens.
Nice. I like that.
What about you guys?
Dave, he's talking about working with writers. I'm assuming you're one of those writers, right? Because Roberts would work with us since as a trash truck drives by. I know it's not my script that he promised he was going to read, but that's okay. That's all right. One of these pandemics, maybe the next one.
I'm going to get to your script.
Speaking of Zoom, there's actually a show that your wife, I think, is going to be a part of too, from her friend Anne-Marie. We're going to do a Zoom. I guess it would be like a Hollywood Squares type deal.
Oh, that's cool.
Facebook Live and Instagram Live.
I think I'm one of the squares with my wife.
Oh, yes. Perfect.
Yeah, with my wife.
Oh,
That's
you
tight.
really?
That's tight. So that's what's up.
dope.
So we're going to start doing that.
That's awesome. Isn't that's this week sometime, right?
Yeah, it's Thursday.
Anne-Marie, I feel like I know her, but she's a producer on
The Talk?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So she's a big producer doing trying to do some different types of formats.
Staying creative.
Stuff, right? Yeah.
Staying creative, yeah.
So you're doing that, and then you're working on Sizzle.
Yeah, we're doing some sizzles for VMR and working with Stearns very closely. Scorsese,
Yeah.
baby Scorsese.
Baby Scorsese. Scorsese.
That's funny.
Yeah, and that's it. And a podcast, and that's it.
Now, what about you? What are you working on?
Same, like working with Rick. A couple ideas he wants to do. He actually did a pilot called Queen of Khalifa.
I read it.
Yeah, did you like it?
Yeah, I did like it.
I think we're going to try to turn it into like a radio drama. And
Oh, that's a good idea.
EJO, Edward James Olmos.
Is he going to read it or be a
He's
part?
going to narrate it.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
so cast some actors.
Mm-hmm.
It's all sound design, so, but I think we could do it.
Yeah, it sounds pretty cool.
Every day I'm with Rio
Yeah.
at his crib.
Yeah.
Yep. Doing that. A couple of scripts I'm working on writing. Getting notes back today from Juan on that other script.
Do you feel like you're working as much or more writing than you were before?
I'm working less writing than I was.
Oh, you
before.
are?
Yeah, because what happens is I come home and my wife's like, because we got 3 kids, my wife's like, can you?
She's wiped.
Can you? And then next thing I know, I'm like, well, can I? She's like, well, can you after? And before I know it, it's,
Can't wait to get married, Roberts.
yeah. Don't do it. No, I'm joking. It's all good.
Just
But
kidding.
still trying to while that was all going on, I'm still thinking in my head of what I'm going to work on. So then when I do work, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I go right into it.
It's deliberate.
Cuts are coming in from Rich. Amazing, dude.
Yeah.
Last night.
How much of it is done?
I would say probably 3/4 at least.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
a lot.
and he cut from scratch. Like he didn't use really.
Started over.
He started over.
So
and he-
does it feel like a whole new movie? Like when you
It
watch
does.
it? Yeah.
It totally does. You know, it's all learning, and he gave it a style, which,
Yeah.
you know, as
It's consistent throughout.
it's
throughout?
consistent. Yeah, the style, but it's really cool. The music means a lot, but the style that he gave it is funny. Like me and my wife watched this cut last night in bed, and we laughed out loud. And then we watched it again and laughed out loud again. It's so good. And he's a creative dude, so he created some other things. Like he had ideas, and I said, yeah. And we did a lot of ADR. Like he would say, hey, can you on your phone
Oh, cool.
just do this? And I did, and it transitioned, transitioned into another scene that made sense.
So for people who listened to your podcast back in the day
Yeah.
of making a
Back in the day.
$10,000 movie, well, because what it was an early episode. People that
Started in
listened to that and got inspired. What would you have done differently, and has anything changed in terms of the budget?
So yes, a lot have changed. Everything's changed. You can do a $10,000 movie if you are going to, if you know how to edit, if you know how to write, if you know how to direct, if you know how to do sound design, if you know how to do music. If you are a filmmaker who could sit down at your computer,
Like Rodriguez.
like
Yeah.
Rodriguez. I got another buddy I want to have on. His name's Mark. He did that with the $7,000 movie, and it won festivals and it did really well. I haven't seen it yet, but if you're one of those people, yeah, it's not a problem. If you're not, then you're going to run into a lot of problems, or you're going to come up with a better movie because you really need to get the right people around you. What I had done different was I would have listened to you. And I would have went straight to Rich and said, here it is.
What I was going to say is that I definitely don't have all the answers. I think Monday morning quarterbacking is what I do best, so making light of the complications that you had with your movie. You know what? It happens. It happened to me on Water and Power. It happened to me on Almaraz.
Yeah.
It happened to me on Porsche, which
Yeah.
is Love and Betrayal. It happens every single time because you need a team to finish something, and you need people caring
Yeah.
for it to be great.
Yeah.
And sometimes you work with someone, kills it, you bring them on to the next project, it's not as
They're not
good.
feeling it.
Yeah, they're not feeling it, and they don't want to make you feel bad, and they care about you, but
Yeah.
they're not feeling your project, and you have to do what you got to do. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
We joke around about it, but truth is, we all run into the same problems.
Yeah.
So
And I think too, you can't, like, everybody looks, oh man, Martin Scorsese's got Thelma Shoemaker as his editor. Thelma Shoemaker was a nobody when he found her, right?
Right.
It's not about like I got to get this person or that person. Sometimes it's right in front of you and you don't even know it. You just got to give people shots.
Very
well,
true.
I want to, we're looking forward to you finishing that up. I want to bring in Ann Lewis Roberts as a special guest.
We love Anne.
Roberts, you don't have a chair for Ann?
She brings in her own chair.
I just want to go on record as saying I'm 6 feet away from
You-
you guys.
Yeah, you are. But you got to
Social
get closer to the mic.
Oh, sorry. I am 6 feet away.
Are you going to be okay without any?
Like your glasses.
Thank you very much.
All right, I'd like to bring in Ann Lewis Roberts. Ann, welcome to the
Hey.
show.
You know what I love about Ann? I love a lot of things about her, but I love that Ann, look, we look like we just rolled out of bed. All three of us. Ann looks like she's about to go into a meeting.
Seriously.
And she's going to sell something to like HBO.
Yeah.
She's looking good. Roberts, I actually like your look. I told you when I first
Oh,
got
thank
in.
you.
The beard, the hair.
Oh, yeah?
It's kind of very mountain man-ish
Thank you.
or serial killer-ish.
Yeah, thank you. I think.
Like,
Or
Dexter-ish.
In the morning, it's sort of like the Queen of England.
Yeah, I'm the Queen of
like the
England.
Mexican Bear Grylls.
Fantastic.
That's right.
Thank you, Rod. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Well,
I will say I washed
Stay close
my
to the
hair for
mic.
you guys.
Oh,
So
thank you.
This
Oh.
is for you.
oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Well, we are social distancing. I just want you to know these guys showed up with masks.
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
Absolutely.
You guys are being safe out there. But look, as we continue to talk to people at home, and some people are working in the business, some people are doing stuff. Anne is working in non-scripted television, and she hasn't stopped working since this thing started. I mean, it's been a month of a lot of pitching and talking to people and getting other projects going. Can you explain to us what's been happening in the non-scripted world?
Well, I think the first thing that happened was we all had to figure out if we were pausing or shutting down shows that were in production or were going to go into production. So the company I work with is Critical Content, and they have a ton of series that we're shooting. Great food truck race and a big Netflix show, maybe 10 things, Catfish. And it became apparent pretty quickly that, it wasn't going to happen the way that we all wanted it to happen. So I think there was everybody little by little put a pause on all their productions. And that's tough. That's tough because that means people have to go dark and people aren't getting paid. And I think the second round that everybody did was what kind of programming can we contribute that is sort of corona proof, because I think more people are consuming media than ever, because what else are you doing, right? You're cooking, you're watching something, and you're trying to do a puzzle with your kids and they're like, pass. So I think there's more media consumption than ever. In fact, Disney Plus, who I do a series for, is up to 50 million viewers, and a lot of that happened over the past month or two. And so we all got together and started thinking about, is there stuff we could do from home? You see MTV did Unplugged from home really quick as the first response, the first cabler to do that. And
Guy Fieri did a show, right, that we watched, where he sat in the living room with his son and watched a competition that he was part of back in the day and watched it and commented on that show, which was, I thought,
That's funny.
pretty interesting. I liked it.
yeah, I think anything that makes you feel like we're all still there, because it's so quiet outside, right? There's no cars. The morning shows went first, because their coverage is always live. I think the pre-taped syndicated shows and daily shows all ended up going to the Zoom version of it. And again, stuff that we would never find okay, before is perfectly fantastic right now, right? No hair, no makeup, people janking out at home. I know you guys are doing it with Access,
Yeah, but Lopez is getting full hair and makeup. I'm there. He was like, no, I need Tootie. Tootie, you got to help me out. But I do prompter too now. So.
Well, he looks good. I understand. He's got to keep up the cuteness. And then the late night shows, right? Jimmy Kimmel and Fallon, and it's intimate and it's lovely. So we've all been pitching and talking to all the development folks. I think everybody's sort of a captive audience. What are you going to say? Yeah. Like, oh, you're busy, you're at lunch, you can't take the pitch. Yes, I know where you are. You're at your house, and everyone's really kind and forgiving too. I had a meeting the other day with a buyer at HBO Max, and her kids were in the background. She said, this is Hunger Games in the background, so forgive me. And I was like, oh, you don't even know what's behind this door over here. The streamers are not going to are saying hey, we're going to wait it out. We don't want this Corona stuff in between. I think basic cablers are like, yeah, that'd be cool to have some ideas. I don't know that anybody's pulled big triggers on it because, right, everybody hopes it's going to be over. So some of it feels like busy work, and then some of it I think is going to get to air depending on how much we stay at home. A friend of mine, Mark Bracco, runs Dick Clark, and their job is 15 of the big events, during the year, from the CMAs to the ACMs to
New Year's Eve show, Rockin' New Year's Eve, right?
And that's their whole entire business. They just did the Walenda walk over the volcano. That was the last thing they did, and he flew home just as they were closing everything, and they did a at-home version of the last Country Music Awards, and it was beautiful and intimate. But, at some point, everybody's trying to figure out, are the Oscars going to look the same, or is there going to be some new version of it? And nobody knows. We're all just guessing, and nobody knows. I have a project that was supposed to go in April, and we're set to shoot June 1st. I don't know.
Did you?
So it's in Atlanta, and we're just monitoring that state and hoping that they open up. All the people who are there are saying, "Come, we want to go to work."
Well, that's one of the states that's doing really well.
Yeah.
Atlanta.
Yeah, I noticed. Have you sold anything during this downtime? Like, have people actually said, have networks or anyone like that said, like, yeah, we're going to buy this or we're going to move forward with some sort of level of deal?
I actually had a project that was wow. There's people screaming
Speaking of the Hunger
and
Games.
babies.
What's
yeah.
going on over there?
I have a project that had a really positive bent to it that has had some interest and an offer made during this time, and I think that how people want to feel when this is over had something to do with the interest in that project.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Interesting.
cool.
Yeah. I think we're going to come out and there's going to be lots of people hoping for things that make you feel, good and decent. And
Well, let's talk about how exciting it is to watch programs right now when you're sitting at home and you're able to have like wish fulfillment. You're able to disconnect from the virus and from us all having to stay home and no one making any money and nothing. You can't go to a restaurant. You can't do anything, but you can watch Disney's fairy tale weddings
yeah, you can.
on the streamer.
All episodes are
Disney
up.
Plus.
You could binge it in an afternoon.
But that's exciting because people get to watch something that is not happening right now. You can't go out on the Dawes Glacier and get engaged right now, and you do that on your show. You can't. I mean, what are other scenarios where people are getting married on Disney's fairy tale wedding?
Gosh, a young man proposed to his gal at the Eiffel Tower. A
Can't do
surprise
that.
engagement. We had a wedding and an engagement up on the glacier in Alaska. We had a surprise anniversary event in Greece for this couple. You'll love this. Who went on their honeymoon in Greece, and that's where his family was from. And so, like 6 relatives were like, "We should go with you because it'll be fun." And so their honeymoon was them and 6 relatives. So 25 years later, their sons came to Disney Fairy Tale Weddings and said, "Oh, I want to do like a redo for my parents." And so we brought them, and they actually had a really beautiful anniversary party in front of the Pantheon.
That's amazing.
Wow.
One of my favorite episodes is this couple is getting engaged, and she loves Disney, and they go to the park with. I think they supposedly won tickets to take her whole family. So they've got their whole family, and they're walking into the park, and this guy grabs her hand, like he's one of the performers, grabs her hand and like takes her, and all of a sudden, people that are buying popcorn and doing stuff, all of a sudden, they all jump in, start this flash mob, and she's the middle of it, and she's like going, like
she went with it?
she just became a princess, and she was like, all right, let's do this, and there's a full blown dance and singing, performance, and she's in the middle of it, and it was all, and then he proposes.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah,
It was
a lot of work.
really,
How
really
did you guys
cool.
do that? Like, how
Really
did you,
cool. Simon Lithgow, our showrunner, who you guys had on, he is from So You Think You Could Dance, and so he had 2 really amazing choreographers come, and they worked for weeks with this group. And at 4 o'clock in the morning at Disneyland when it was shut down, and then we got there at 4, and Twitch and Allison were there, and they were in on it, and and her parents were in on it. Everybody was in on it but her. And she went with it. She could have been like, "Get your freaking hands off
right?
of me,
I
crazy
was just
pants."
going to say that. I was just going to say that.
And when we talked to her later, she goes, "Listen, it was Disneyland. It's magical." She goes, "I just thought like, oh, this is like another one of their parades, and somehow I wandered into it."
I'm
and,
in the middle of it.
Yeah. So it was very.
It was
cool.
really
awesome.
it was really fun to watch because that's the first thing I thought is like if like a princess grabs my hand and starts to like dance, I'm like going, dude, you're gonna get me in trouble. What are you doing? I'm like, I'm not doing
Wait,
this.
where's the tequila?
Right,
Yeah.
what's happening? Wait a minute, what just
And
happened?
Jason Derulo sang to that one couple
Yeah.
at California Adventure. That was awesome. Jason Derulo.
So your show is doing extremely well on Disney Plus. So if you want to check something out that takes you away from what's happening now and kind of wish fulfillment and dreams and
It's fun.
magic, it's fun. It's
Yeah.
good to watch.
Benji McBinge-a-lot is what I say,
Totally.
right? Created by Carrie McCool,
Created by Carrie McCool.
the best in the West. Yeah.
She's an amazing producer, executive. She's kind of done it all, right?
She really
Yeah.
has. Fox,
Um,
Disney, everywhere.
Yeah, I'm proud to be associated with her. I'm sure you are. So what I was going to ask you is after I had Simon on the show, we talked to Russ Emanuel, who is the founder of ExtremeMusic.com. And we said, hey, we just had Simon on, we had Ann on, and they were talking about how great the music was at ExtremeMusic.com and how awesome it was to use it on American Idol and to use it on Disney weddings. And then I told him what Simon said, and I think he listened to the show. I think actually Russ is a fan of our show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope so.
He listened to the show and heard that there are people watching Disney weddings and listening to the music and wanting to know what's the song being played while these guys are walking down the aisle and during their wedding. And it turns out that music is ExtremeMusic.com's music.
Yes, those are the two things that people ask about, are the music and then the setup of the wedding, which is our friend Max Peasy, who designs the weddings. But the music is a big deal. And funny, that ExtremeMusic.com seamlessly works its way in with these big stars who are on the show, Jason Derulo and I'm blanking on who else. We had 14 performances.
Well, you guys
this year.
had Olivia Newton-John.
She was
you
last
had the
season.
Pentatonics. Oh, I'm sorry. I mesh them all together because they're all such great stars.
No,
right?
there's great musical performances.
Can you see those episodes on Disney Plus? Can you see the one with Olivia Newton-John? Oh, you can?
Season 1 and Season 2.
Can you see the one with the Pentatonics?
Yes, that's the very
that's
first
my
one
favorite
ever
one.
done.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
The first one?
Yeah.
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 Pentatonics, yeah. But he said, and then Russ, after hearing it and me mentioning it to you guys, then he sent you a song that was just created that's a wedding song. So ExtremeMusic.com working on all kinds of stuff, but in addition, working on wedding things. Do you have anything to do with picking, going to Extreme Music and picking that music, or is that
of course?
So you all go and listen and go online and pick songs?
Well, what happens is the editors who are producers at this point, our editors have access to the library and they pull down songs. That's one way the songs get put on. Another way is that you can go to Extreme and say, hey, which vertical can we look at? And there's romantic songs and there's tentative songs and there's I'm going up on a glacier song, adventure songs. And so you can bring those out and put them into an editor's bay. Our head of post, Noelle O'Connor, she'll sift through all of that and she'll send some as well. And then every once in a while we'll sit in the bay and we're like, oh, that doesn't work. And then we just listen to cuts, and say like, that's better. And that's how we found the series opening music, because we just all loved it. And we kept saying like, that cut. And we accidentally kept putting in and everything. And then we're like, instead of just putting in and everything, why don't we just use it for the open? Then we won't be beating ourselves up because we're overusing it.
Right, because you love it. Right, that's cool. Well, Extreme Music for all your music needs.
Yeah.
So tell us what's next, Ann. If you're out there and you're a television creator and
Ann is still working, by the way.
And no, she's on her phone.
But I guarantee you it's business.
For sure it is. or it's my daughter saying, are you 6 feet apart?
I know.
But what
is? I'm waving to her. Hey.
Oh my God.
What's out there for people? You're one of the lucky ones because you're actually a super talent.
You're so
and
nice
there's
and
no
jaded and biased.
People want
and
to work
paid.
with you because you have great great ideas. But if you're out there, should you be contacting buyers now and trying to pitch your wares? Like what should people be doing? Preparing themselves or what?
I think if there's anything that's happening pandemic-wise, it's going to be people who are already pretty tight with all the networks. Like it's going to, like ABC is doing a Disney-themed sing-along this week. I think that's going to be the regular people who they usually work with. I don't think you're going to take a chance. I'm just being honest. I don't think you're going to take a chance in this moment in time where everything could go wrong with a Zoom, this or music. I was asking Mark Bracco, I'm like, how did you get Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani to do that amazing duet from his farm and have it sound so beautiful? Right. And there's layers upon layers for it to look like he just zoomed it in. So I think the things that are happening right now are going to be with people who are there their go-tos, who you'd go to war with.
So if you're a young producer that has not produced before, your best bet is maybe a team up if you have a great idea for
sure,
Pandemic,
yeah.
but not like a cold call to a network. That's bad.
And not
idea.
right now. I think and then I would also
agree.
say if you have stuff, I think you use this time to come up with ideas that again feel positive, feel inspirational.
For the
Like
future.
remember all the social media stuff that's going around where it's all, reminding you of the silver lining. It's definitely taken a different turn. And I think that is probably going to be around for 12 to 18 months, people wanting to feel like that. Then we'll all go back to being horrible, jaded, wretched people again. But for a minute, I think people are going to feel the way that social media feels right now. Right?
I'd be excited to go to Starbucks. Like, I get to buy a coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
This is
Can you
amazing.
imagine?
Man,
Yeah.
it's the little things.
18 months. Give me a large.
Yeah.
Just hurry up. Fuck, I gotta go. Hello, sir.
Get me out of here.
How are
Yeah.
you today?
There's no E on Anne, okay?
If you're out there doing your thing for TV, film, writing, whatever you're doing, keep doing what you're doing. I think really good advice is to maybe lay down the Corona ideas and
feel good.
and start thinking about what people in the future are going to want to see, because I guarantee it's not Tiger King.
God,
I don't
Oh
know,
my
though.
God,
I don't
dude.
know.
that was bad.
That was-
Did you watch it, Ann?
We did, and I enjoyed it for 2 episodes,
Yeah,
and
there
then,
you go.
then the
got
the
old.
middle ones felt like, okay, you could have shoved all that up into
Yeah, I
2
agree with
episodes,
that.
but it was it's different and it's addictive, and and that kind of stuff for sure has a place.
And
as
those
well.
guys were crazy.
yeah.
They're all crazy. All of those dudes. Every one of those guys.
LA Originals was good though.
LA
I really
Originals
liked LA
was
Originals.
good.
Did you see that one?
No.
I'm gonna watch it
That-
again tonight.
You haven't seen it yet?
No, I
David?
watched it already,
Oh,
but
you
I'm gonna
did?
watch it
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
I watched it too.
It's
It was great.
inspiring, actually.
No, you're right. It
I
is.
go to the docs whenever I go to the streamers. I always go to docs for
Yeah,
some
me
reason.
too.
I
Me too.
end up landing there. I watched Lilo's movie the other night though, Dead on Arrival.
Oh, okay.
How was it?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
He watched it.
You watched it. I want to thank Ann for coming in and giving us some knowledge on what's
Thank you,
happening in
man.
the
Some
TV,
hope.
in the
Some hope.
unscripted
Yeah.
world, because people need to know what's going on. I think the fair advice is, if you're not a producer of note, either team up with someone that you know to get your Corona idea out there, or just start focusing on more positive things. So when everything comes back, you can open up that line of communication. Because I think absolutely what's true is networks are not going to be taking risks on new producers during this time. They want to go with tried and true. So they're going to be taking pitches and buying things from people that they know. Yeah, good to know. That was good advice.
And I would also say if you do have a Corona idea, you should look at it and say, sorry, I just got in the industry. You should look at it.
I like that after she went like, sorry. Like, sorry.
I felt like I was an intern again at Entertainment Tonight, and Dan, the sound guy, was going to yell at me and say, like, what are you touching that for? I was going to say, if you have a Corona idea, you should think about if tomorrow everybody was like, oh, you get to go back to work, would that be disposable and no one would care about it? Because, by the way, in 2 weeks, somebody could say like, oh, we're going to do our half version of being out in the world.
Yeah.
And then all this Corona stuff could be over. And by the way, Corona could be till December. But I think that none of us know. So I would just, if you have something that you're like, oh my God, I must tell someone my Corona idea, I would also be thinking like, what's the other idea? What's the other version of that? Or is that a version I could watch even if Corona wasn't a thing?
Yeah.
So 2 things before I let you go. The show your friend produced, Mark Bracco, which was originally the ACMs, and they turned it into, what was the name of it?
ACM Presents Our Country was on CBS. I bet you could find it. It was
Well,
super cool.
That was one of the coolest things, because all of these artists that normally are made up and dressed to the T's, and they have fire and rain and all this crazy stuff happening, literally just performed on their porch or in their studios. And it was really cool. And I don't know that anyone else feels this way about it, but it was really cool to watch them, because that's when you realize you have real talent,
Yeah,
right?
I was about to
When
say.
you can just sit on like a stoop in your kitchen and just
Play.
rail off a song
Yeah.
and
oh my
like
God.
be, you know,
Carrie Underwood with her glass
Carrie
of wine.
Underwood with a glass of wine sitting on a couch. I was like,
Wow.
sometimes singers have to stand up straight and get like all that airflow. She was sitting on a couch, like hunched over, and sounded like she was
It's like Keith
amazing. Keith Urban too. Keith Urban did an amazing job.
That was like the one-upper in Mexico, dude.
The one-upper.
How amazing was that guy?
He was amazing because it's funny because Oscar would sing and he'd be amazing, and then the one-upper come in and be like, "Whoa, wow, he's really
we would look
good."
at each other like,
Oh yeah, he's good.
What?
You suck. But yeah, that was a really unique and kind of groundbreaking show, I think. And it was because of necessity. Obviously, we are in this time, but it was fun to see. And you kind of wanted more. You just loved these artists getting down in their T-shirts,
Right.
and
Brad Paisley.
and being as
all telling
good.
a good story.
Yeah, as good as they ever were with
Yeah.
all of the echo and record. Look, what was the girl Miranda Lambert sounded amazing. So yeah,
Amazing.
so kudos to Mark. He did a great
Front
job.
porch with a little bandana in her hair.
Yeah.
The cutest thing ever.
Adorable. All of them were terrific and proved why.
see, I think those things
Why
will
they're
live on
stars.
because if you got talent like that, we want to see it.
Yeah, for
you know
sure.
what I mean. Even when this all ends, I still would want to see that.
I
still
would
wanna-
too, and I
you know what
think
mean?
I think they should do more of it. I think
Yeah.
it was very cool. I mean, Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton were amazing, and they were just sitting there.
What was that on? I want to check that out.
CBS, I guess.
CBS. So I bet if you go to CBS All Access, you could probably find it.
Yeah, it was very cool.
It was
very
primetime show. It
I'm
was
ghetto.
pretty-
I have no cable, so I'll just go to YouTube.
Yeah, you can probably find it on YouTube. But Ann, thanks for giving us some knowledge and just telling people what's going on out there, because I think it is an important. It's important to hear from people that are out there selling and connecting with networks and understanding what's going on. So thank you for doing that. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. I'm not sure I had any answers at all, but
You did.
No, but you want to hear from people who are doing it. You want to hear advice from people who are communicating with buyers, because there's no point in all of us getting out there saying like, "Hey, Corona," like you've got to be smart, right? You got to know that people aren't going to buy stuff from you right now because it's a difficult time. You want to buy from tried and true producers. So maybe it's just it's nice to hear from somebody who's communicating
trenches.
and in the trenches and know what's
Yeah.
happening, so that maybe a lot of people do not waste their time during this time. So thank you for doing that. Appreciate
thank you.
it. That what, that's awesome. It's awesome to hear.
Good to, yeah.
How
especially-
do you feel about that? How do you feel about someone telling you like, "Hey, no one's going to buy that from you right now"?
I feel great about it because you know what? The old me would have been like, "Whoa," but the new me is like, okay, I'm not going to go that route.
Yeah.
Like the Corona
Yeah.
thing, and I get it. Nobody wants to watch that. No one wants to hear feel good. Like the feel good stories.
Yeah.
People want to escape, right? Depression.
Yeah.
They want to escape.
yeah.
Yeah.
They don't want to be there. They don't want to. They already know what it is.
Yeah.
So
But we did. But I wanted to mention.
I liked your comment though when you go, "Hey, Corona."
Hey, I'm gonna sell Corona.
Hey, Corona.
because everyone's. It's important to be genuine about the work that you do. The business is a real business with real people watching it, with real buyers, with real networks, with real streamers, with real money, and it's a serious business.
Yeah.
So take your product seriously. Understand what you're trying to sell. And you will probably make some headway.
Yeah.
You'll sell some shows.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, it's awesome to have a conversation in such a weird time and keep talking about what's coming next. Last thing I want to say is I saw Ben Affleck in The Way Back last night,
Good.
and I thought it was great. I thought he was great. I mean, I really felt him.
Amazon, Netflix.
I rented it on Amazon for $5.99 because like 2 weeks ago it was a new release and it was like $20 or something. So it was like $5.99. But I want to see the Invisible Man next. Maybe I'll watch that tonight. Have you seen anything besides LA Originals that you can recommend?
Parasite, of course. Roma.
Yeah. Davey Dave is busy, bro. Davey
You
Dave,
are busy,
no, he
dude.
is. Like Davey Dave is working. I'm so glad to see it happening.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
can I-
appreciate it.
can I ask
Thanks to you guys.
Hey, can I ask
Seriously.
you something? Are you now doing some work for Casa Mexico?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Are you
Tequila.
really?
Yeah. So pick something else up.
What's up?
So we're doing some social stuff.
Oh,
trying
nice.
to, get into that.
With
stream.
Gina?
Very
Yeah, with Gina.
excited about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Pinche Gina.
Yeah.
Pinche Gina.
Pinche Gina.
I watched two things. I watched Gravesend, which is a guy named William DeMeo. He created it. Hustler, independent filmmaker. It's pretty good. It was a series on Amazon, 4-part, 6-part. I only ended up watching the first one though, only because I was dealing with kids. But it was good. And period piece, takes place in the 80s in Brooklyn, Monster. Good job. And then I also watched Dead on Arrival with Lilo.
Oh,
Lilo
yeah,
was
yeah,
in
yeah.
it, and other people too, but it was pretty good. It was pretty good. Indie movies. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, like I said, I'm happy that we're still doing the show.
It's nice.
Makes you feel connected. The business is not going to go away. It's only going to get bigger and better, and I hope we do too. So, all right. Well, I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for listening to Let's Get Into It.
Back here at your place?
Maybe.
Let's do it.
Undisclosed.
Undisclosed.
Undisclosed location.